Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes,
facts, boots,
and other stuff.
In this week's issue, Reefer King and Crow.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the murderous one. Well, maybe
Holy shit.
Mr.
What'd
Mike.
I do?
There's a reason why. There's a reason why I said.
I do take sleeping pills, but
No,
I didn't
no.
realize.
There's a reason why I said murderous. If you see the title of the episode already, Mike here's a little peek behind the curtain. Mike just found out what we're covering today, and by that he just knows the name of it. But there's a crow involved, so that's why I said murderous, because isn't a group of crow
It's
a
a
murder of crows?
Yeah, murder of crows, yeah.
So that's why the murderous one, Mr. Mike. I'm Zach. He's Mike.
Do you know a group of elephants is called an Eloise?
I feel like that's wrong.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what a group of elephants is honestly called?
I would
look
think
it up
elephants
now.
are a pack.
Yeah.
Right? A pack of pachyderms. Right?
I think you're right.
I think it's something like that.
A herd.
A herd, yeah. That's like a
memory, or less commonly, a parade.
A parade of elephants.
Yeah, well, that kind of makes sense. Remember in Jungle Book?
Yeah.
Don't they like parade about?
Yeah. But that's not much better than what I said. A parade of pachyderms is also an alliteration, right?
That's true. Well, I love alliteration.
I love alliteration.
You know what? I found out that
yes.
Daredevil is a triple D here recently. I'm triple D,
Yeah,
triple M. Wow. Matt Murdock. I don't remember what his middle name is, but his middle name starts with an M too. So Stan went full on alliteration on first, middle, and last there. But
so he's a 3M.
he is.
Like the sticky tape.
Like the sticky tape. Oh, I've been watching the new series on Marvel. I've enjoyed it. I think I'm now 2 episodes behind. But it made me really want to go back and watch the old one, which I don't think you've seen any of them.
I have not. No,
it's really good.
Like quite a commitment.
It's one of my. Here's what I'll tell you. Daredevil has always been one of my favorite characters, and a character that I thought was underrated. And so for a TV show, for a superhero TV show, and I might be seeing this through tinted glasses, and that's not a joke considering that Matt Murdock is blind and wears, the glasses all the time. But
poor blind people.
Not poor them. They don't have to watch us. But wow. I'm the one.
It's a little rough, dude.
I'm trying to what?
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
was just saying no. Like it's.
They can't hear either, so it's fine.
No, that's oh my.
Oh, that's not true.
I was just saying that they don't have. It's a. Okay. I can't just restart the show.
Here's the thing.
I want to. The point I'm making is, Daredevil is it was a comic book character that I love so much, and it was a show that I was very hopeful for when it came out, and ended up falling in love with it.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it in forever, and so watching the new series, I've just found that kind of love for it again, and it is very good. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is absolutely
Vincent
fantastic.
D'Onofrio as Kingpin is probably one of the greatest. Between him and RDJ as Iron Man, those are two of the most
an
like
example
on
I always
the
bring
nose.
up too. Yes,
yeah.
And you think that part of it, like, I don't know. I've heard. I was talking about Vincent D'Onofrio this weekend, listening to him talk in.
Oh, because I always talk about Vincent D'Onofrio.
Do you? Yeah.
Oh boy, all the time.
You're a big Full Metal Jacket fan.
Oh, love it.
But hearing him talk in interviews, he's very much kind of like.
That's a good movie. I don't know. It's a great movie. Just letting you know.
I had a conversation about Pat Riley as a basketball coach with that same exact argument.
Pat Riley's a douchebag.
Well, yeah.
There's that.
But he's a good coach. Yeah. I don't know if he's a great.
I don't think he's a great coach. He had some stuff fall in his lap. They really did.
That's the point I'm making.
Because take that time at Miami. It wasn't great.
Well, he shows up here. You know what? You tuned into a comic book podcast, listen to sports. I know
sports.
But anyway, I digress. Today we're talking about. I brought up a called you a murderous one because we were talking about all that Daredevil to talk about. At some point in time, I want to do like Born Again or some Daredevil.
I was always a big fan of Daredevil as well.
So we could do for a World's Finest Wednesday, but that'd be serious. Usually
I think
we keep it light and fluffy on our.
I think the whole Daredevil Elektra thing. I think that's one of the greatest comic book romances ever. honestly. I love the back and forth.
I don't like Elektra as a character. Like, sorry, what? I said I don't like Elektra. Not like as a I mean, like, how do I put this?
She's a great foil for Daredevil, though. Like a partner kind of thing.
Yes. No.
Much better
I
than
don't
Robin.
despise her as a character. I'm saying it's like there's part of her things about Elektra as a character that I don't necessarily like, but that's part of the character. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, that is.
Yeah.
Like
her bony knees.
I don't know. It's okay to not like Elektra, I think.
No, it's absolutely
she's
okay
a badass assassin. I just feel you don't like her. You don't like her for Matt at times. Is my point.
Well, I get that. I get that part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I loved Daredevil. I thought Daredevil was
not the Ben
cool.
Affleck movie.
No, Ben Affleck.
TV show's great. I was going to say we need to cover Frank Miller's Daredevil run at some point in time because that is good Frank Miller. But what we're going to get into today after we ramble for like 5 minutes.
Well, can we ramble for 2 more minutes?
Yes.
Because I just want to tell you about 2 things I watched this weekend.
Okay. Was one of them, hold on, was one of them related to, which way should I scoot? This way?
Sure. No.
Oh.
No, these were full-on series I watched.
Did you watch we'll save it for the end. You did. You watched
I did watch the extended Superman cut.
We'll save it. We'll save it for the end.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited about that. No, I watched The Residents on Netflix.
Okay.
It's made by Shonda Rhimes' company.
Oh, okay.
But boy, that's a good little series. It is. It's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whodunit. It's a Detective Clouseau, Knives Out, that kind of stuff, right? It's one world famous detective who solves this crime or whatever.
Okay.
Everybody thinks she's bumbling until she finally comes up with the thing. You know,
I like that kind of stuff.
It's very good and very well done, and it's got a lot of really good people in it that you would enjoy. And then the other thing I watched is called Golden Greed. I had never really heard of this thing until it happened. There was a guy, or until I watched this, there was a guy named Forrest Fenn who years and years ago hid a treasure somewhere in the U.S. And this thing is all about them going and looking for the treasure. Ends up it was in Yellowstone, not to screw with anybody, but Yellowstone's a big place.
So they found the treasure?
I'm not going to tell you that necessarily. Well, yes, because they started off by telling you somebody found it. But then also somebody re-hid it. So that's the end of this thing. Somebody re-hid the damn treasure. So, but the thing that it's only like 4 episodes. They're about an hour apiece. It's you kind of fall in love with the people who go out to do this and look for these things, which I thought was a really cool like human interest part of it. But then what I didn't realize is that I am also listening to a podcast. This podcast is called Missed Fortune. And
about the same exact thing?
It's the exact same thing, but it's different people. And what had happened is like on Thursday, I had subscribed to this podcast because it was the end of another one I was listening to. And then this weekend, we started watching this, and I'm like, shit, it's the same damn thing. So anyway, it's cool. Both of those go really well together, though. I'm just telling people if they want to watch it and listen to the thing,
It's a good companion.
It is. It's really good. It's really well done. Yeah.
No, I do. I mean, you see a lot of shows now that do that. Like they used to have the shows after they talk about it, but now they have like companion
I would love
podcasts
to get into that business where we do those companion podcasts that go
why
along
don't we
with a
start
series.
that? Like, why don't we just pick a series and start our own?
I have 2 for you.
For me personally, or just
one
in
is
general?
for you personally because I know you'll want to be involved.
Okay.
Our friend Lindsay that I talked to this morning, she has a whole person that we might see as an invisible icon, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah. Just letting you know.
That's fine. Yeah. I have another. I've been thinking for a long time, and I have another one I want to do.
Yeah.
Well,
this is very inside baseball.
That's fine, but is hers local?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be more so. Okay, we'll talk off here.
Yeah.
All
She's set up a whole nonprofit for it and the whole thing. I mean, it's a whole thing. She's got all the footage. She's got all the stuff. Yeah.
Oh, you're getting my documentary brain going, Mike.
Yeah. No, you would be very excited about this one. I should have given you this before we started recording, but yeah, this is a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd enjoy it.
Okay. I have a couple ones.
And then you know what I looked up this weekend? I thought, can I just go find freelance journalists somewhere that want to do these kind of things? Well, but I'm saying outside of this building.
Oh,
you know?
No.
Like if we had somebody who would dig for stuff, and then we could rewrite it or what, that kind of thing. So if anybody knows of like a pool of freelance journalists just floating around out there.
If I had the time, I'm in the mood to like do. You don't want to know the one that's been hitting me, that's like been sticking with me. Our friend, I say our friend of the company, Claire.
Yeah.
And that Rockets one she has, man.
Well, she's got another one on top of that, and so that's what that's the other one I need to talk to you about. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, Inside Baseball over now.
Inside Baseball over. Let's get to comic books.
Yep.
What I have for you today, as we talked about and I called Mike a murderer for, is...
You don't know.
Crow is going to be one of them. You remember, we talked about it, and I might have not given our intro like I usually do, but we're a comic book podcast in both audio and video form, depending on how you want to choose. If you want to look at our lovely mugs, or if you want to just listen to it.
It's weird to watch it with no sound, though.
It is, because then it's just...
Yeah, you seem very creepy.
Yeah.
I like the way their mouths
That
move.
was a video-only joke for me, but Mike talked over it, so the audio people did not miss a thing. But we are a podcast that at one point in time, like, we focus on a lot of stories and actually runs and things like that. But we would also break down just characters as a whole. We did it recently with Jaguar Man and the Purple Tigress. But we would do some of the older ones, and we love to dig through the
Jaguar Man runs like this.
Yeah, we love to do some of these old public domain stuff because it's just great. That's exactly what I have for you today. Except we're looking at villains, Mike. So if you have questions about the heroes, I don't know too much about it, but these are just single one-off villain appearances.
I love a good villain.
Kind of.
No,
no. The second's not really a one-off appearance, and you'll see what I mean by that when we get there. But what we have for you today is our first one we're going to get to is from Dynamic Comics. Now, this is from 1945. Mike.
We already got me at Dynamic Comics, 1945. There's a buzzard, and the guy's holding a snake.
And there's an owl there, too. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I don't know what happens in that story.
Oh, I didn't even see the owl until you said something.
I didn't read it.
Oh, that's not the actual thing.
Yeah. Also, if you're watching, I don't have anything else for a call to action, but feel free to comment or email us your recommendations down
100%.
at
Yep.
Where's it at? There you go. Bros, foes, and heroes at gmail.com. Now, back to our story.
Also, the other thing they could email to us or comment about, top 10s. I am in this mood to do a bunch of top 10 type things. And top 10 and comic books go hand in hand. But I want super granular lists. So top 10 superheroes between the 1930s and 1960s who wore glasses or something like that, right? Just super granular stuff.
Should we start doing that for some of our Monday shows?
Maybe.
I just present you like a top 10, but it's like a silly top 10.
Yeah.
Or it's like the top 10 times Superman ran it with Red Kryptonite. We've talked about it. And so instead of doing deep dives, I can be like, hey, it gave him a lion head.
Yeah, I like those. I like those, and we'll talk about that after this. But yes,
we got a lot to talk about.
I've got some ideas on that as well. Yeah.
Man, all right. Thank you for watching Bros, Foes, and Heroes, aka Zach and Mike just pitch stuff to each other.
Hope you enjoy this planning session. Yeah, it's really good.
Anyway, so Dynamic Comics number 16 for 10 cents. You could buy it just for a dime.
What a deal!
Which I just realized is the same cost of something else in this story.
Is that the time? Do you think this is about the time in the world where people would take a dime and go, like in their teeth to make sure it was real?
People did that?
Yeah. At one point, they would.
I know. I feel like back in like the 1700s or something. Sure.
Yeah.
What are they like? Not chocolate. Like, what are they?
Well, think about during like the Depression. I bet there were a lot of slugs being passed around.
So a slug is just like a thinner, like cheaper metal, right?
It's a thinner, cheaper metal that approximates another coin. So for instance, there is you know the grocery store Aldi's.
Are you talking about for the
quarter
yeah.
People sell
online,
slugs.
yeah.
It's a friggin' quarter.
Yeah, I get it.
Why am I buying a slug just to stick it to the Aldi man? Is that what it is? I mean, come on. Who gives a God almighty.
Stick it to the Aldi man.
Stick it to the Aldi man.
Which, do you know, hear me out on this, like Aldi was
it's a German-based
It is, and
grocer.
it's two brothers, and one of the brothers was like kidnapped and held for ransom.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do the history of Aldi all of a
and
sudden.
the other
Let's talk about that afterwards as well.
Okay.
That's another series.
I don't think the brother refused to pay. He was like, yeah, no, that's okay.
Really?
There's something like that.
My.
Or maybe he did pay. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that part out. But
it was a quarter.
His brother
He paid a quarter.
was kidnapped, and that's why
he paid it 1 quarter at a time.
That's why it's a sentimental gesture.
Sure.
You have to put it in the...
This is for Adolf.
Oh, this episode.
Can I tell you the
different German name.
Can I tell you the one thing that always throws me about Aldi's? At one point, they put out an ad.
Don't they kind of arrange it? Here's the thing. I've never been to an Aldi's.
It is.
Don't they arrange it to where like you have to go one way?
No,
kind of?
It's a
Can
weird feeling store though. It feels like you shouldn't be in there almost. It's like, do you remember Tuesday morning?
Yeah,
it was a lot of markdown stuff.
Yeah,
there was a lot of,
but it was weird. Like, yeah.
It was a lot of, I can tell a child's been here because everything's on the floor.
I feel like they showed a lot of sheet, or they sold a lot of
or
sheets.
Marshalls. Marshalls is the same kind of feel, right?
I've been to Marshalls now.
You go in there, and
like that's a flag.
There's a size 30 belt hanging right next to a size 52 or whatever. I mean, it's all.
Yeah,
it's just
for sure.
You don't know.
As a kid who moved those belts around, I know.
There's
what you're
one great
about, yeah.
shoe on the wall, but I can't find the other one. That
it's
kind
your
of
size too.
Yeah. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and it still lights up.
Yeah.
But the one thing about Aldi is it Aldi or Aldi's? I don't know if there's an S or not. Anyway, yeah. Roast me in the comments about whether there's an S or not. On
we're
Aldi.
not going to get a comment. We're not going to get a single comment about Aldi's.
Kool-Aid.
1,000 people watch that, Mike.
So,
but not Kool-Aid.
They put out
Kool-Aid, man.
You know how these grocery stores will put out their weekly ads, right? Hey, here's the specials at Aldi's this week. We have 2-for-1 horse balls or whatever. Because they were selling. Okay, so there's two things.
Oh, man, we are like 20 minutes in. And we haven't even started.
It. One, they sold a fish called swai, and in the ad it said it was is it translucent? No, it's not translucent. It is it made it sound like it glowed. Fish from the Mekong Delta, and
Transdescent.
Iridescent
okay.
Fish from the Mekong Delta.
Where's
okay?
The Mekong
I'm out on both fronts, right? Number one, not a huge fan of fish to begin with.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But then you tell me it's iridescent, and then you tell me it's from the Mekong Delta. I probably don't want any. I'm gonna go ahead and eat a corn dog.
Why?
I
don't know if that's any better for your body, though.
I don't know where that wiener came from, but I know it's a wiener, and nobody's telling me it came from the other side of the world, and it doesn't glow. But then there was another thing where
I don't know why that's so funny
in Europe,
yeah,
they had a problem with some meatballs that were being sold there.
IKEA.
And they said the problem was they were contaminated with horse meat. They said some of these are up to 100% contaminated with horse meat. Well, no, that's just horse meat. That's not contaminated. That is 100% horse meat.
Yeah, if something's 100% contaminated.
If something's 100% contaminated, it's just that thing.
Or hold on. Or is that honestly rated like if I drop something on the floor and I pick it up and there's a piece of dirt just slightly on there, it's kind of contaminated? Or if it's fully stuck on, it's on 100%?
Yes, it's
and that doesn't work. I think it's the amount
that's why we have fractions. Yes.
Because if I mix, here's the thing. Because if I was like, hey, I'm going to make meatballs. I bought ground turkey to go with my ground beef. I'm going to mix the two together. And then you'd be like, all right, how much of the meatballs was contaminated with turkey?
No.
I would tell you, hold on, no. I'm just saying, just for this argument, I would tell you the percentage of the meatball that was. So if the meatball was 100% contaminated with turkey, it would be all turkey.
Right. I think you need to understand the difference between a recipe and contamination.
I think
is the issue here.
I understand. I'm just saying, I think you're right.
Some of these meatballs were up to 100% contaminated. No, they're just that thing. It's just horse balls. That's all that is.
Well,
anyway, all right.
No,
nothing against Aldi. I've been in there. I bought a bunch of
stuff.
How it's fine. It's fine. Aldi's is fine. Don't get me wrong. And over here, they do not sell horse meat. So those Europeans are wacky, though. They'll eat a horse any day.
Whoa! We get
Europeans love to eat horses.
We get people from Europe who watch.
Yeah, great. Eat a horse.
Whoa!
They eat horses. You never saw that movie?
What movie?
They eat horses, don't they?
Is that the name?
Oh no!
Wait,
I'm sorry. That's shoot. They shoot horses, don't they? I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know what it's about? It's about
shooting horses.
No, it's about a a dance-a-thon where you have to be like the last couple standing to win, like the big prize.
Yeah.
It's almost like hands on a hard body kind of thing, where you put a hand on a truck and you have to stand there until everybody else falls down. This is dancing. And the idea was these people are in such misery. They shoot horses, don't they? I mean, why don't they just,
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
There's your movie history also. God, look how much information we gave you.
Yeah, wow.
And it's free.
If you started watching this wanting to hear about the comics that are listed and you are now 20 minutes in.
That's okay.
All right, let me try to run through this.
Horse balls.
We got stuff to do still here.
Let's do it.
We're busy people.
I'm going to take a drink now so you can talk.
Yeah, thank you. What I have for you today is a couple of villains. And the first one I'm going to introduce to you. Oh, I forgot. Before I did that, there was an ad in Dynamic Comics that I wanted Mike to see.
That's an iridescent tie.
That girls can't resist this Kiss Me necktie as it glows on the dark.
God.
And it says, "Will you kiss me in the dark, baby?"
I think the creepiest part is the baby at the end.
Baby? Why?
Because let's say this two ways. Will you kiss me in the dark? Will you kiss me in the dark, baby? Which one is creepier?
Or, will you kiss me in the dark, baby? See, it's all about where you pause.
Sure, but where's your dark baby? I mean, I'm happy to kiss you right on your dark baby.
That sounds just
Doesn't
wrong.
it? It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I do.
But, yeah, apparently it's a tie that when the lights go out, it sends that message.
Oh,
But
it's Yankee Boy.
that's not who we're here to talk about, though. We're not here to talk about Yankee Boy. No, and we're not here to talk about Death, who is oddly a farmer there at this place, right? Why do you think they're growing there, Mike? If the story is called "Sorry, No Cigarettes Today."
Yeah, this is wacky tobacco is what I think, or maybe those European cigarettes.
I was telling Mike we almost did a whole just pot themed episode, and then I felt bad for it not being closer to 420, which falls on a Sunday, Easter Sunday.
Is it really? 420's on Easter Sunday? Oh, man. And we ain't got no eggs this year because they're all too high.
That's true. So
there's a lot of.
So here's the thing: everybody can wake and bake together because he is risen. So,
just no eggs.
Yeah, just no eggs.
Mm-hmm.
That's my T-shirt this week. So
wake and bake with Jesus. That's your T-shirt.
And it just says 4/20/25. That's all it is. It's just a party that I had for myself.
It goes through the little.
Like a stigmata.
Sorry. Okay, let's.
No
cigarettes today, Yankee boy.
This is why when I told Mike that we should do an Easter-themed episode, and I told him I found a story about a potential evil Easter bunny, and we'll bring back a Captain Carrot story about.
Love that
Easter Bunny Island instead of us actually doing Easter-themed comics because Marvel did one.
Yeah.
Jesus canonically appears in Marvel Comics.
That's wonderful. Well, you got the other gods that are already in Marvel.
That's true.
I
mean, it makes sense for that to happen.
I want to see Zeus versus.
But like they did do, there is a
Jesus.
Marvel Easter comic back in like '93 that they made. That's just kind of funny. But I think at one point in time, Exodus in the X-Men comics thinks that Jesus might have been a mutant.
That kind of makes sense to me, honestly.
Yeah. So let's get into Yankee Boy, but more importantly, that big baddie that you see right there with the sickle mic is a man by the name of the Reefer King.
The guy in the brown suit?
Yep, that's
He's
the Reefer King.
Boy, I thought he'd look different.
Good old like James from Flint, Michigan is the Reefer King.
Yeah. This is a guy who owns a hardware shop.
That's it. They just stumbled upon what are all these fields and fields of unattended marijuana crops doing?
This is where
if somebody had a sickle,
this is where the script from Ozark came from.
There you go.
Right here.
So it starts with this guy, the guy in a suit, showing up at this like store, and he's like, "Hey, here's what you do. Just tell everybody you're out of cigarettes, and if they want to buy some, just sell them some of these.
Sure.
Sell them for a dime. Like, you're gonna make X amount of profit off of it." And then once they get hit or hooked, they're going to come back for more. And he's like, all right, that sounds good for me. So a guy comes in. He's like, oh, you out of cigs, Mac? And he's like, yeah, but I think I got something that you might like. Here, for a dime, Mickey. That's the little kid's name.
Sure.
It's Mickey. So Mickey's out there, and he just starts smoking. He's like, man, he's like, I'll take it. He's like, man, this is a crummy smoke. He's like, it makes me feel weird. It makes me think different. I feel like I ain't afraid of nothing. Like, this is This is how they viewed pot in the 40s, guys.
Is that historically, is that how pot has affected people?
That's how it always
I think different, and I just want to kill people.
Because the next one, he's like over there, he's like, this 4-bit cat pistol looks like a real gun. Man, in the dark, I'm getting ideas. Like, I can tell you every time I have ever gotten high, the phrase, I'm getting ideas is for sure probably coming out.
Yeah. No,
so that part's accurate.
It's not what's up with my feet.
I'm getting ideas. This gun looks real.
I'm gonna get a 4-bit cat pistol. By the way, 4 bits. You know how much that is?
4 pennies?
50 cents.
Is it like 12?
2 bits is a quarter, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
1 bit, 2 bits, 4 bits,
$1.
6 bits, $1.
Is it 6 bits?
No, 8 bits would be. No, that's what I'm saying. It's 2 bits, 4 bits, 6
Isn't
bits,
that the cheer?
$1. So that means 8 bits is $1.
2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1.
8 bits is $1. So if 4 quarters is $1, then yes, 2 bits would be 1 quarter.
This is what
no, you're correct. So a bit is 12.5 cents.
This is what the terrible reefer does to your brain right here.
I'll just explain it to you. A bit is 12.5 cents.
Okay.
So he decides to use this fake cat pistol to try to sneak up on the valet guy and steal money from the safe. And the guy turns around and goes, "Oh, you don't think I can tell that's a water pistol?" And he's like, "We'll see if you can fool the cops." And just smacks him across the face. Then at the police headquarters, they book him for attempted robbery. Sergeant, we found a reefer cig in his pocket.
Oh, no.
And the judge goes, "Where'd you buy the reefers, Mickey?" And Mickey goes, "I ain't talking coppers." Because he's Mickey. He's got to say that.
In the next year, those are the streets of Texas right there.
Yep.
That's what's going to happen.
Oh, no. We are the 50th state that will ever have anything.
No, I'm saying they're talking about completely making it all illegal, like the THC stuff, like shutting down all these shops and the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
There's 8,000 stores. 8,000 mom and pop stores that they would put out of business.
That sounds about right.
8,000.
That sounds about right.
People who are collecting taxes, paying their dues.
Yeah. All right. So let's laugh at something.
Hey, you know what else? You know what else is legal? By the way, just letting you know, liquor. They love their liquor.
Yeah.
All right. Never killed anybody.
I'm 100% with you.
Horse balls.
But let's
get back to the funny stuff.
This guy named Vic Martin. Spoiler alert, that's Yankee Boy.
Uh-oh. He's the one walking across the street?
Yeah, Vic Martin is Yankee Boy. And he walks by a cop who's apparently named Happy Harrington, because we've always loved alliteration in comics. That's
Happy Harrington?
That's not something Stan Lee invented, people.
What's Happy? It's Happy
Happy Hogan.
Happy Hogan.
Happy Hogan in Marvel.
Happy Hogan's a whole different thing.
It's not, alliteration's not something, in comics is not something Stan Lee invented.
No.
I'm so bitter about that, and I don't mean to be.
About alliteration?
No, just about Stan Lee in general, because he did a lot of good stuff. Stan is a very gray man. R.I.P.
By the way, for all y'all listening, Zach is going to go out and meet Hulk Hogan later in a Brookshire Brothers parking lot.
No.
Was that local?
No. I mean, it's in state, but it's like out in East Texas.
Okay.
I'm not. Here's the thing. You're asking me to do 2 things that I hate, Mike. 2 things that I hate. Well, hate's a strong word, because there are a couple decent
No, I would
things.
say you hate Hulk Hogan.
Oh, no.
Hate
That's
that
not
man.
the strong thing. I was going to say about East Texas.
I hate East
I don't
Texas.
necessarily. I don't like the drive out there, and
Yeah.
parts of it are just, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But I do not like, no, you're right on Hulk Hogan.
Is Harlingen, is that?
That's East.
That's East Texas,
No,
right?
that's South Texas. That's like Southeast.
Okay.
I don't know.
I like to scoop them into East Texas, though, because I don't
think
like
it's
going
more
that
so.
way.
Yeah.
I used to have to go there all the time, and it's like an 8-9 hour drive.
Hey,
that sucks.
This is turning into one of our old episodes of where we would just ramble. And
That's
it'd be
okay.
Like so
Let's
long.
go.
But no, I just want to say I have a bold prediction. You ready? This first for what happens years from now. The Rock's going to be the next Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah. No, I think
He
he's
already
almost
kinda
there.
is,
Yeah, he's almost there. Yeah.
So, and just sometimes saying things and other people
A lot
being
of
like,
stories
"Well, hold
about
on."
that dude.
Hold
Yeah.
on. Anyway, so he's like, Happy, how come you're not so happy? And Happy tells him, well, Vic, since you're a kid I can trust, I'll go ahead and tell you, all of us on the, he goes, a bad kid or a bad kind of cigarette's been sold around town. We don't know who's running this racket, but it sure is starting a crime wave.
Bad kind of cigarette.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, well, I'll be on the lookout, Happy. And Vic runs home. Like the other kid's like, Vic, we're going to go play a game on the lot. And Vic's like, fuck you kids. I'm going to go home. But no, he's like, I don't have time. I got lots of homework to do. What is his homework, you ask? Read the paper. Like his mom says, my goodness, Victor, must you spend so much time reading about the crime wave?
Mom, Yankee boy, leave me alone.
And he just goes, I finished my homework, Mom. Like that's all he just tells her. Like, leave me be. I finished my homework.
Then we find out his mother's not really alive.
But he finds out from reading the story, because he can read, good for him, that Mickey Gargan refused to tell the police where he got the reefers. But Yankee Boy has an idea. He's referring to himself in third person already. So as
he says Yankee Boy has an idea?
He thinks that. He thinks
wow.
He thinks that he has an idea.
You hear that, Michael Jordan? That's what he said.
So after night falls, he sneaks out of his house, dressed in all full Yankee Boy attire.
What is that all over him?
Stars.
Okay.
Because he's Yankee Boy.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
No mask.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you this, Mike, but if you go and you change clothes and come back in here, I'm going to be able to tell that it's you.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. At least with the domino.
Damn it.
Here's our argument.
I've been using that trick for years.
At least with the domino mask, you're trying.
Here, hang on.
Now.
Am I someone else now?
You might be. You can pull that all you want to.
Took my glasses
your
off.
hair wasn't different.
That's true.
But I will say.
These dumbasses don't change their hair, though, either. They just put the damn domino mask on.
No, I know, but that's something.
Hey, I'm a mermaid. Now I'm not.
But still, the glasses is doing something to change your face.
That's true.
Not wearing a mask at all and just changing clothes.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely true.
That's my point.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as it's not something covering your head. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't get that. That's really dumb.
Yankee Boy is hanging out in an alleyway, and he finds a
That's what Yankee boys do.
And he finds a kid named Rusty, and he goes,
"Oh no!"
He goes, "Here's $12, Rusty. Buy all the reefers you can get from Mac. I'll meet you here." And Rusty goes,
"All right, Yankee boy, that's like 46 cigarettes. You sure?"
Rusty goes, "You smoking the weed, huh, Yankee boy?"
"Oh, Yankee boy, you smoking the weed?"
And he's like, "Okay, I'll see if Mac's got any." And Yankee Boy just can't wait in the alley. He follows to Max and just basically presses his face up against the glass to look in while he's doing everything. And about that time, the Reefer King shows up and he's like, Yankee Boy's onto my racket.
The Reefer King.
He's like, I gotta stop him. And about that time, everybody's Mac, who is now selling the legal cigarettes, the Reefer King, both of them want to stop Yankee Boy from getting away with the reefers that Rusty just bought to give to Yankee Boy.
There's a lot of money in those 10-cent cigarettes.
They are, because Yankee Boy's like, I'm going to take these to the cops, and then they'll see that Mac's fingerprints are all over it, and they'll know, hey, he had something to do with it. We're going to take this racket down. He avoids being caught by the two of them, and he flees. But here's what I love when Yankee Boy flees. So, the Reefer King goes to pistol whip him, and he ducks out of the way, and he hits Max. He hits Mac's hand instead.
Yeah.
And then he just goes, "I'll take the ball now, Rusty. You run interference." But the way it's drawn, it looks like he just pushes the other kid into the bad guy's way as he runs away.
He pushes him and then does the Heisman out of the room.
Does.
That's it.
Yankee Boy, I will push you down to get away from bad guys. Oh, man. So they leave and they go different ways.
Yankee Boy, watch your step.
And Reefer King decides he can't have Mac talk, so he kills Mac.
Oh, my God.
And leaves. But
poor Mac.
Here's what happened. Yankee Boy goes and hides the reefer cigarettes with the fingerprints on them and circles back around to hop on the back of Reefer King's car so he can follow him to see where the rest of the racket is. But the thing that I love is it shows him drive by the front of the store where what's this guy's name? Where Yankee Boy is just hanging out on the back of the car.
Yeah.
But this just means that he hopped on the car, and it's like Reefer King's just driving by again to see his handiwork. Just
the dead guy laying on the cement. Yeah.
Yep, he's still dead. And then that's where he's like, "Oh no, look what he did!" I don't know how.
Good job.
Yeah. So, Reefer King goes back out to his hideout, which is their pot farm out in the middle of nowhere.
Hang on one second. Does it look like he's sticking out of his windshield?
does.
Like there's no windshield in that car. He's just like, oh, it's very windy today. But I don't know why he's Gilbert Gottfried all of a sudden.
It's like he just crunched and came up. So he's like,
I can't see real great. I'm going to stick my head out.
And so when they get out there and he comes in, he goes, the heat's on, creeper. Yankee Boy grabbed a package from one of Mac's customers, and I chilled Mac to seal his lips. And he's like, that's no good, King. And just when the big dough was coming in, what do we do now? That's no good.
You did a bad thing. That's no good.
That's no good that you killed somebody, King.
Stop killing people over those tiny cigarettes.
That's no good. And he's like, all right, scoop up all the reefers that you're making, and we'll go and we'll like harvest the crop and then move on to the next town.
It is hard to say the word reefer without sounding like a fucking narc or a PE teacher. You know, I mean, you can't just say, hey, buddy, want to go smoke some reefer? No, you sound like a fucking narc.
My grandpa lived to be 89. He was almost 90.
Okay.
He passed away a couple years ago, but he was born in 1932. The man never called it reefer in his entire life.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody
I don't know why. Like, this is obviously from an era before that, from my great-grandparents.
It has
probably.
to be, like, from the 20s or whatever. Man. Yeah, it's...
Because reefer madness is, like, 36.
Yeah, reefer is such a stupid word.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So...
That boy's on the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the pot. So... they go to harvest, and it's like Yankee Boy hears all this going on, realizes, oh, okay, like I got to stop them before they go and peddle their poison the next town over.
Couldn't he just burn the damn field down?
Yeah, but then everybody's going to get
Aren't you done?
Which that's not going to happen. You're not going to get that half contact smoke from
maybe a little bit. I'm just saying.
Maybe a little bit.
You're just done.
But
it's why are you chasing these murderers down?
Yeah, but one of them comes out, clubs Yankee Boy on the back of the head, and he's like, Look at the blood. I must have cracked his skull.
Oh, my God.
So
they've already killed a guy, and now they smack him so hard that his
child.
open.
Let's not forget that it's Yankee
That's true.
Boy.
That's true. It is Yankee Boy. That's
so right. Their great idea was like, hey, you see that 12-year-old out there looking through the window? Go hit him with a club.
Yeah.
The Reefer King is vicious for sure.
Reefer King is vicious, yeah. We've always heard the drug trade is...
They decide not to do anything with him, just to leave him there while they go finish harvesting all of their hemp.
It's like a cartel handbook.
Yankee Boy just shakes it off and comes through, and he essentially runs around the corner and yells out while the guy's harvesting with the sickle. You see him cutting the hemp. And he's like, what, huh? But so in my mind, he's sitting there, like how I have his picture, is he's sitting there harvesting, like I guess with the sickle, cutting down all this plant. And he just hears a guy yelling as he turns and looks to see Yankee Boy just sprinting at him going, stand up and take your medicine, mister. And so he's like, what? And he just gets punched in the face.
This poor guy, too, he didn't have anything to do with any of that other business.
No.
He's just doing a job.
He is.
This is probably like a day laborer they've hired. And now you got Yankee Boy just running full-on ass sprint at him.
And he just punches him and tells him to take a sleeping powder. Then he runs up behind the Reefer King. And
sleeping powder?
That's what he tells him to take before he punches him.
Okay.
And then he runs up and essentially like grabs his legs, like throws him up to slam him face down into the wheelbarrow.
It's sleeping powder punch, or in other circles known as a Cosby. Sure.
And then our comic just ends with, when Yankee Boy's captives regain their senses, they find themselves the lone participants in a 3-legged race. And Yankee Boy is just yelling at them. It's only a half a mile to the highway, police patrol. Keep stepping. So he makes them walk tied up as he stands behind them, and he makes them walk to the police. And then he just leaves, and that's the end of it.
Pew.
Yep.
That was it? That's the whole damn comic?
That's the whole comic.
Oh, my God. That's terrible. You have a dead child.
Well, he woke up. It's okay.
No. That one didn't. The one he shot on the cement and drove away.
That was a man. That wasn't a child.
So the child went to the man and said, man, could you please go and find all of these marijuana cigarettes for me? And then the man got killed. Okay, so and left on the
guy who was selling the marijuana cigarettes got killed by the Reefer King, so he wouldn't talk about where he got the marijuana cigarettes from.
Okay, but wasn't that the same guy that Yankee Boy sent?
Rusty was the kid that he sent in there to buy.
Rusty got out?
Yeah, Rusty got out and ran the other way.
Okay.
Matt got shot.
Okay, I was worried about Rusty and his family.
Were you?
Yeah.
Let me talk about our
no way to die.
Let me talk about our other villain today.
Yeah.
from Black Hood number 14, which is also from the year of 1945.
Okay. That cover's not bad necessarily.
I should say our last comic, Dynamic Comics number 16, published by Harry A. Chesler Publishing back there.
Who?
This is an MLJ. Harry Chesler. Chesler Publishing.
Harry Chesler.
Harry Chesler.
That sounds like a Will Ferrell character somewhere. Harry Chesler.
Harry A. Chesler.
Harry A. Chesler here.
Anyway.
For Goodyear Tire.
1945, MLJ, which later became Archie Comics.
Oh, see, I had MLJ one time. I had to go to the dentist.
No, that's
unlocked my jaw.
Something J Pain. It is, yeah. It's something J Pain. TMJ. There you go. But Black Hood number 14 from 1945, and we're looking at.
Oh dear God.
Crow.
That's a big ass crow.
Do you think a big ass crow flies to the stage in this comic, Mike?
That's either no, I doubt it very seriously. That's either a big ass crow or some very tiny people.
Exactly. Well, it's both. So.
What the worst part of that entire cover is that one dude who's just watching down in the corner.
Oh.
He's just like, I'm kind of liking this.
So a gala night at the Diamond Horseshoe.
Diamond Horseshoe.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
So society's out to see this, and we see that Barbara Sutton introduces Kip, who I'm assuming Kip is the guy who plays the Black Hood, who is our
Sure.
hero in this.
Sure.
Don't ask me about what
this is an actual Black Hood comic.
Yeah, this is a Black Hood comic.
I got you.
And he is our main hero in this story. So don't ask me what his powers are. I don't know.
This guy that we're seeing here is not the hero, though.
No, the bottom is not.
Because that guy has an open mouth
drinking.
and is screaming at a woman.
Yeah.
So
she introduces Kip to the producer of the opera. And the producer of the opera is like, I'm worried I made a mistake about casting Pagini in my opera. And Kip goes, well, who's Pagini? And Barbara's like, oh, man, you know less about opera than I thought. And he's like, Pagini used to be the greatest singing voice in the world.
Pagini.
Pagini. Pagini.
Pagini.
Pagini, right?
Pagini.
Pagini?
Pagini.
Pagini. Do you want me to call him Pagini or Pagini?
Pagini. Pagini.
Pagini. Pagini.
I woke up early and slipped on into my Paginis.
Do you think Pagini is more correct, probably?
I don't know. Does it really?
It's a
I love how we get on this stuff. And it doesn't even fucking matter. It's not even like a real person.
The producer tells Kip that, that used to be, but now he's like, he's trying to make a comeback. And so I gave him a small role in the opera to see how it could be.
Sure, yeah.
Backstage, though, Pagini is preparing for his comeback with
a stupid name.
With a little cough medicine, it says.
Yeah, he's glugging that cough medicine.
Glug, gurgle, glug.
Glug. Oh, he's gurgling.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And then he's like, curse it. Here comes that snooping soprano. She's always concerned about me. Damn her for caring about my well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, please don't drink anymore, Pagini. Please. You were such a great singer before you took the drinking. And
you know what they say, though? Once you let the Pagini out of the bottle,
you can't get it back in.
You can't get it back in.
And he's like, what do you mean I was a great singer? He's hiccuping.
He's hiccuping in the middle of a conversation.
Still, no one's greater than Pagini. So now I will be doing a drunk voice for Pagini.
Poor Pagini.
The curtain raises, and the guy's like, psst, you've drunken fool. Grab hold of yourself. It's your cue to sing. And Pagini, he walks out there and just stammers out, and he's like, drunk am I? We'll see if my voice is killed. Pagini is as great as he ever was, right? And he's like, oh, true love of my life. Ark!
Is that him
Ark
singing?
In there. Yeah, that's him singing there. And he just goes, Ark! And then the producer's just flabbergasted about all this.
Because that looks like an old lady.
It does.
Yeah.
And the producer goes, he's as flat as barley soup. To which Kip, or the Black Hood, goes, sounds just like opera does to me all the time.
I'm hungry.
Because Kip is cool, and he sounds like opera does to me all the time.
Stupid opera.
Yeah. And so they close the curtains, and everybody in the crowd's like, man, I can't believe how awful he is. Man, he's ruining the opera just in that small role.
Yeah.
And so Pagini's backstage. And behind
the small role, by the way, he's the only one on stage.
He is.
Yeah. Okay.
Pagini's backstage as the curtain closed.
Pagini's backstage is showing.
Back to my drunk voice. And he's like, what's the matter with those fools? Why don't they applaud me? I'm as good as I ever was.
I'm Pagini.
Who says I'm not? Answer me. Who? Which one of you? Who says I'm not? I'm not the great Pagini.
Yeah.
That's what he's essentially saying. But then there's this weird setup. While Pagini rants on stage, the property man collects the items needed for the next act. Accidentally, he tips over the cage. Out flies a crow. Why don't you answer? What do you think of my voice now? And they're just like, well, it's... And about that time, a crow flies by, and it's like, caw, caw. And he sees that the property guys are going to try to catch this crow, and he's like, why you... And it's all asterisked out for 45, so he's got some coarse words for him. And he's like, I'll kill you. And he's like, take it easy, Pagini. It was just an accident.
Take it easy, Pagini. There's your shirt from this one. Take it easy, Pagini.
Take it easy, Pagini.
Right. It's a crow saying it. Yeah.
Well, or there's a variant of it, and you'll see in a second.
All right. It's coming.
So
Pagini's got a big-ass face.
He does. And so Pagini's sitting there, mock my singing, will you? Me, the great Pagini, you'll mock the worms in your grave. And he's just sitting there choking them out. And about that time, Kip, not in Black Hood costume, but in regular Kip form, comes in and comes up behind him and tells him to take it easy and then just punches him in the face. Wow. Take it easy. Punch.
Wow.
And as he's down on the ground.
Calm down. Smack, smack.
While he's down on the ground, the producer yells at him and goes, I gave you your chance for a comeback, and you repay me by getting drunk and ruining the entire first act, but almost killing a man is the last straw. You ruined but the killing a man part.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you know what, Pagini, that crow had the right idea. Your voice does sound like a crow. Now get out and stay out.
Is that what the crow said?
I guess. And Pagini's like, all right. But what you have not seen the last of me. We're not doing that.
Okay.
Pagini descends into the costume vaults below the stage.
Sure. Why wouldn't he?
And he opens it up, and sure enough, there just so happens to be a crow costume down there.
A giant crow costume, yeah.
He, so I'm a crow.
He, so I'm a crow.
That's another one, too.
So
I'm a crow. Although, I think we do like the take it easy, Pagini.
Take it easy, Pagini.
With the crow,
something about the rhyming.
I think a crow with like a folded arm, just like take it easy.
Well, I think it's a crow,
or maybe just like its feathers,
folded
like
wings, saying "Take it easy, Pagini," and his little feet are wrapped around a bottle of liquor that's just got the 3 X's on it on the bottom. Yeah.
Or does it say cough syrup then above?
Could
the
3
say,
X's? Yeah, it could say cough syrup,
something like that. Anyway, so he finds a costume to dress up as a giant crow.
Easy, Pagini.
Now I am indeed Crow, not the Crow. Not to be confused with the guy.
No, he's just Crow.
Face that looks
Have
like
I ever
Sting.
told you that The Crow is the movie that got me fired from
Saturday Night Live?
From Sears. From Sears.
Did you steal it?
No.
Did you put it on all the TVs?
No, I used to go to work and I'd walk through the warehouse. I'd take off my little vest that I had to wear. I'd go up. I'd watch a movie. Then I'd come back and clock out.
Oh, you're watching
that was the one
Crow?
where they caught me. Yeah, I went to go see The Crow. Yeah.
Well. It was a good movie, though.
It was a good movie, and I got paid to watch it.
So then he is indeed the Crow, and now he slowly, stealthily, the black monster slinks along the Opera House corridors with his intentions, murder.
Where are his feet?
They're down there below.
Yeah, but the second panel there where he's dressed as a giant fucking crow.
Yeah.
There's one foot that's like, it's like up in the, I don't know where his foot is, his actual foot.
Oh, that I have no clue.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm assuming it's in the claw somewhere.
That's just so weird. Yeah.
Well, so the understudy takes over during the second act, and they're like, oh, he's doing so great, man. Congratulations. And he's so well. And he's like, oh, thank you. I'm going to go freshen up real quick before the third act. And you can tell everything's going to go great and nothing's going to go wrong because he's singing to himself as he goes to his dressing room.
And how does that song go?
I love life. I love to live.
What a great song.
Nothing bad is happening to this man.
I love life.
All.
I love to live. Whoa. The Beatles come to mind.
And there is no way that nothing bad is about to happen to this guy.
He sprays a little perfume in his mouth.
Yeah. Mike, spoiler alert, he dies.
Oh, no kidding. I bet he gets hit by a crow.
So he does. He goes to spray the thing in his throat.
He just says caw.
And he goes, arg, my throat. And then, he just hops out in the costume and just goes, caw.
He attacks people and just says a single word, caw. That's what. Whoa, this guy's a mastermind. He's gonna get us all.
Oh no, that's
my catchphrase. Call.
And he goes, victim number 1 on the Crow's revenge list. Then the guy
dude did nothing. He did nothing to you, Crow. He did absolutely nothing. Dude showed up to do his job. He was happy. He loves life. He loves to live. And you just killed him and said call. That was it. That seems like a terrible murder. Some murders are justified. I get it, right? Especially in comics. But this one, you got it wrong there, Crow. Call.
He did. So the producer goes to check on him and finds his other understudy dead. Later that same night, I guess this opera's at
shows off
6, right?
Shows off.
Because they're looking through the papers and they see another opera that's about to happen.
Oh.
Yeah. And it
competing
says,
operas.
Competing operas. But this one says,
happens a lot.
Desi Lesko, a new opera star at the City Opera. He's going to perform in
City Opera.
In an opera called The Swamp. And it says here, Desi Lesko, acclaimed as better than Pagini at his best by European critics.
Wow. Europeans again. They love their horse balls and their Pagini.
Well, here's what I love.
People.
I mean, some critics are assholes, but who usually is like, hey,
this one's better than the other one.
Yeah, listen. Here's new artist A. They're way better than Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah,
it's weird. Like, I guess some people do, but it's odd to write a piece and just throw somebody unrelated.
Yeah.
Except just by profession under the
Maroon
bus.
5, so much better than Maroon 4.
So Kip goes, better than Pagini, huh? Well, I think I know one man who's going to resent that. Pagini. So he thinks.
Well, that's some serious thinking right there.
So he thinks, we need to go to that show because the Crow will show up. And I love, before the curtains rise.
No. The Crow won't show up.
Just
Crow will show
up. You see the guy down there holding the book, and it goes, I guess they wanted this to be suspenseful. And before the curtains rise, a quick substitution is made.
I'm gonna put in a guess.
In the prompter's box.
It's a Crow.
You would think.
That's Crow.
You would think it's Black Hood.
What the?
It's Black Hood. And so
he sticks out like a sore fucking thumb. Look at him. He's just like, I'll just be here in my black Daredevil costume and I'll just read this book.
Blending in.
Yeah.
So they perform The Swamp, the critically acclaimed opera.
Everybody loves The Swamp.
And he's like honestly in a tree, and he jumps out of the tree and starts choking him with his feet. Because what's in the wings, now that I think about this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His arms have to be up all the time, right? His feet they can only fit in like one of those talons.
So how is he choking the guy?
I don't know.
Because if not, then the only other thing that can happen, hear me out, is that the wings stay like that. His hands are in the claw part.
They would have to come out. But where do his feet go?
In the tail. But it means that he walks somehow with his feet and he's always planking.
Well, maybe it's like, those inflatable mascots that are on the sidelines of NBA games.
Yeah, kind of.
You know how they can kind of, one can eat the other or whatever because they jump into their mouth or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
They Kirby each other.
Maybe it's that kind of thing where they Kirby each other. Yeah. And so he's like, hang on one second. And he has to move around in his crow costume. Okay. And then he's like, okay, now I'm ready to kill you.
Fair enough. But the Black Hood shows up to knock the Crow off what is the guy's name? Desi Lesko.
I don't know who you're talking about. You keep saying the Crow.
Crow, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Black Hood knocks Crow off Desi Lesko. But Crow, or Pagini, goes, bad arithmetic. You didn't count on this, did you? And he throws him off.
I'll show you my feet.
And then he's like, thankfully, I know this theater very well. And so he climbs up the ladder. And he kicks off a stage light at Black Hood to get him to fall. Well, Black Hood locks his legs in the ladder and leans out away from it to avoid the falling light. Then he jumps up higher and he swoops around with his legs and kind of kicks the Black Crow. He just kind of kicks Crow from his ledge there. And he goes, "Fly off your perch, Crow." To which he falls and just lands on his neck.
None of that, like those panels.
Yeah,
I don't care. Like, there's not enough action going on in any of those panels for me to think, oh, this was a furious battle they had.
No, he dodged the light and just kicked him off the ledge.
Well, he ran into a ladder, and then he kicked him off a thing. We're done.
Well, but here's the thing. So Black Hood honestly kicks this guy off. He can't fly, so he knows like he's not going to be able to catch him. And he just lands flat on his neck. So Black Hood
basically murdered him. Yeah.
He does. A resounding crash. And the guy unmasks him and goes, "It's Pagini." Well, yeah, no shit. I think we knew it was Pagini. And Black Hood just looks and goes, the poor fellow's folly finally caught up with him. No, you killed him, Black Hood.
No, you killed him, Black Hood. Yeah.
Then it says,
he's truly taking it easy.
Yeah, a somber shadow flutters and sings a fitting requiem. Caw, caw.
God almighty.
Caw.
Yikes.
Here's the thing, Mike. You might think we're done. That happened in 1945, which is very impressive to me. Considering
punch a Nazi day.
Considering that this is Pep Comics number 32 from 1942. So 3 years before that story.
But you know what you have to do.
It's very impressive to me that Pagini was able to pull that all off because he pulled it off once before back in 1942.
Same thing?
As a bullfrog.
Oh, man, that's the exact same thing.
And a completely different
hero.
That's the
same dude down there watching it.
The hero changed to a guy named it was originally a story from the Hangman. And he was not Crow, he was the Bullfrog.
The Bullfrog or just Bullfrog?
The Bullfrog.
Oh, see, they got it right this time.
Same exact story.
It is the exact same thing. Oh, dear God.
Except it is a guy by the name of the Hangman who is after him.
Is it Pagini?
It is still Pagini.
Really?
It is still Pagini.
Where's the guy? Where's the understudy?
Let me find the understudy and also the.
Oh, this is fascinating.
Take it easy, Pagini.
Really?
Or you'll get hurt.
I like how you're pointing at your monitor like I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah. At the top right.
Wow. Even the dude that's yelling at him is kind of the same guy.
The understudy.
Now,
right
I will
here.
say this. I like the other guy. I like the Hangman's costume better.
So in this, it doesn't kill him. It just, there's enough, the Hangman deduces from the thing, Jehoshaphat, there's enough benzylene in here to burn out the side of a battleship.
Benzylene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just burned his vocal cords instead of killing him.
I just want to give a little warning to anybody who goes back to read The Bullfrog here. There is an ass shot down at the bottom there where you can clearly see Bullfrog's ass. Yeah.
Same exact thing. Here's the thing. Desi Lesko, still the same opera star that they're going to go sing. And they say Desi Lesko claimed as better than Pagini at his best by European critics.
Okay, so I don't really mind the fact that Pagini's just getting drunk all the time at this point because, I mean, they keep doing this shit to him.
So, same thing.
It's the same. He's behind a book.
They just reworked the same story beat for beat. Now, this is the original. I liked Crow better. That's why I picked this one.
Yeah.
But this is the original. And then, he's got to go. The swamp is still the opera. And he shows up and he stops the bullfrog from choking or drowning the understudy. And same thing. I know this theater like a book. He can't catch me. Climbs up a ladder, throws the light thing. He dodges out of the way. This time he at least hangs from the rafters and Bullfrog
stomps
on
more action. This is better action.
It is, but he still kicks him off. He still falls in front of everybody, lands on his neck. Why? It's Pagini, but why? He couldn't bear anyone knowing he was, that he was jealous of everybody being better than him. Same thing.
Well, they even went to watch the swamp.
Yep. Bullfrog jumps on his chest this time, and that's where it ends instead of a crow.
Wow. You always see those things where like Disney would reuse cells and stuff like that, but this
is MLJ though.
This is literally you're cannibalizing yourself.
It is the same publisher reprinting the same story, taking out a few action beats and completely just changing the villain and changing the hero.
Boy, did they think kids are stupid.
Yep. Well, or they in 3 years' time they could redo it.
Yeah. So
there you go. That is Reefer King and Crow and a little appearance by the Bullfrog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
So
well, I think we can all say that the lesson we learned today is to take it easy, Pacini.
Oh, for sure. Take it easy, Pacini.
Yeah. Don't smoke your.
Oh wow. Sorry, I had some echo back there.
Yeah. What?
I had some echo from you back there.
That's okay. It was for effect.
Yeah.
It was fine.
But there we go. So that is our show for the
Good
day.
job finding
Thank
the
you.
two that go together like that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
have to give credit to, if you haven't read it, you should. Reefer King was in here. I'm pretty sure the Crow might have been too.
1963 National Geographic. Oh,
this is a smaller version of Legion of Regrettable Supervillains. It's a bigger book.
Yeah.
This is the Loot Crate version that I got at one point in time. It's a smaller, condensed version. It's by John Morris. There's also one for superheroes and stuff, and it is some of just the wackiest, just ridiculous heroes, villains, and stuff like that. I've pulled from it before for some of our issues, and it's a good read. But that's where I got some of those from. So there you go. Thank you guys, as always, for taking the time out to watch and or listen. Make sure to check out Rogue Media Network and the Rogue Media Network family of podcasts.
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
And until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.